The U.S. military has successfully tested a hypersonic long-range hypersonic weapon missile known as Dark Eagle. The U.S. Department of Defense reported that it had been launched from the Cape Canaveral spaceport in eastern Florida. As we approach the first delivery of this weapon to our military, we are evolving to integrate conventional prompt strike into our surface and submarine ships to help us remain the world's preeminent fighting force, the Pentagon officials stated. His missile was developed by Lockheed Martin. It can cover a distance of up to 3,000 kilometers at a flight speed of Mach 4.9. The LRHW is part of the U.S. strategy to develop hypersonic weapons after the country's withdrawal from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty in 2020. Back in the summer, the United States Government Accountability Office said that the government had failed to meet the goal of deploying the first LRHW battery by October 1st, 2024. According to their estimates, the deployment of the hypersonic missile will be possible in 2025 if the weapon is tested successfully by December 31st, 2024. At the same time, Lockheed Martin has recently adapted the Mako hypersonic missile to most American fighters and disclosed some of its parameters. It took 7 years to develop a new generation of missiles for the company, which is actually not that long for hypersonic weapon systems, especially ones as compact as the Mako. Mako is equipped with a solid fuel rocket engine that can accelerate the missile to Mach 5. According to official statements, the missile can reach this speed at high altitude, where it can maneuver. As of August to September 2024, Russia has deployed about 70 Su-34 bombers to the war with Ukraine. This is stated in the first chapter of the Truth Hounds investigation. According to the investigators, during 2023 to 2024, Russian aviation used Su-34 and Su-35 aircraft armed with Kh-59 guided missiles and guided bombs to strike at Ukrainian rear targets. At the same time, Su-35s provide escort and cover for Su-34 fighter bombers during strikes and are also used to protect other aircraft. For this purpose, Su-35s are equipped with Kh-31 anti-radar missiles to destroy Ukrainian air defense systems and R-77/37 air-to-air missiles to destroy Ukrainian aircraft. At the same time, the Su-34 is mainly used to launch Kh-59 guided missiles, as well as D-30 UMPB guided bombs and bombs equipped with the UMPC Universal Planning and Correction Module. To analyze the use of Su-34s in the war against Ukraine, the researchers began by determining the total number of Su-34s at the time of the invasion. As of February 2022, the aircraft were distributed among 4 regiments and 2 training centers. Thus, the total number of aircraft was 124. However, 4 Su-34s were permanently based at the Hmeimim Air Base in Syria. As of September 2024, 33 Su-34s were confirmed lost in action. Among them are 8 from the 47th BAP, 5 from the 277th BAP, 4 from the 2nd ZAP, 4 from the 559th BAP, and 1 from the 968th DIZAP. Researchers were unable to identify 11 more losses by regiment. However, these losses were partially offset by the transfer of 23 new Su-34 bombers. Taking into account the acquisitions, the total number of Su-34s as of September 2024 is about 110 units. However, not all of them are combat-ready and are actively used in combat operations. To determine the number of aircraft actually involved, the analysts analyzed 30 satellite images of 11 airfields where Su-34s are based. Based on this analysis, the investigators concluded that as of May-June 2024, Russia used at least 68 Su-34s against Ukraine, and until August-September, this number remained stable, hovering around 70 aircraft. The same airfields were found to be used for the flights by different groups of the Russian aerospace forces. The airfields are not tied to specific groups and serve aircraft for operations across the entire front. Also, it was found that Su-34s could be used for combat missions in different areas of responsibility, regardless of their basing. In addition, analysts note that due to Ukrainian drone attacks and the risk of long-range Western missiles, some airfields, including Baltimore, Buterlinovka, and Morozovsk, are operating in a limited capacity. Italy is ready to send peacekeeping troops to Ukraine as part of the resolution of the conflict. This was announced by Italian Defense Minister Guido Crosetto at a meeting with colleagues from European and North African countries in Madrid. According to him, Italy has been participating in peacekeeping missions around the world for a long time, particularly in Gaza and Lebanon, where there is a possibility of clashes between UN forces and militants. Despite the defense minister's statement, the Italian government has not yet come to a consensus on whether to consider this proposal at all. For example, Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani said that talk of peacekeepers was premature, as Ukraine's top priority was a just peace with the restoration of its territories. It should be noted that in addition to Italy, the issue of deploying peacekeepers is being discussed at the state level in other European countries, such as France and Poland. The very first initiator of sending troops to Ukraine was French President Emmanuel Macron in February 2024, who stated that France had been ready to send a contingent of the French army to resolve the conflict at any time. In addition, during his visit to Warsaw, the French president also discussed this issue with his Polish counterpart, Prime Minister Donald Tusk, but received a negative response. Any decisions on Polish actions will be made in Warsaw and only in Warsaw, and we are not planning any such actions at the moment, Tusk told the media after discussions with Macron. Nevertheless, the French side, in addition to peacekeepers, announced plans to send its own instructors to Ukraine to directly train the military. Earlier, Militarny reported that French MPs had appealed to the French defense minister to create a European coalition to send military instructors to Ukraine. The corresponding appeal to the Minister of Defense was signed by 5 MPs from 5 different parties on November 29, 2024. They also called for the creation of a European coalition to send military instructors to Ukraine. In their opinion, France could play a leading role in this coalition, along with the armies of the United Kingdom, Poland, the Baltic states, and Scandinavia. The ISIS terrorist organization has killed Afghanistan's Minister for Refugee Affairs, Khalil Rahman Haqqani, who was a member of the Taliban movement. This is reported by the Turkish edition of TRT. The ISIS terrorist organization has claimed responsibility for the terrorist attack in Kabul, which killed the Minister of Refugees and Repatriation Khalil Rahman Haqqani. According to ISIS, Haqqani was the main target of the attack. A suicide bomber entered the ministry building posing as a visitor and detonated an explosive belt as the minister was leaving the building with security guards.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.